Thank you, Wendy. Well, it's interesting to talk about estimates to the Agile community. There's been a whole initiative on no estimates, because estimates are difficult to produce. They say they have no value. They say it's overhead and should be minimized. What they don't realize is that estimates are program decision-making tools. So maybe the programmers don't need estimates, but the people that are deciding if it's worth funding, if it's worth doing, what the time to market is, so that they can promise things and actually deliver them, they all need estimates. Now, some people say, well, hey, my developers were never on time anyway, so now at least they'll be done when they're done, and hopefully they'll be more efficient. Well, it is possible and viable, and in fact, hugely important to know when programs will be done. There's always risk, but quantifying the risk and knowing the actualities is extremely important. Now here we can see the cone of uncertainty. Agile didn't make the cone go away. The cone of uncertainty says up front we have a big wide area of uncertainty. We don't know how long it's going to take or how much it's going to cost. As we get more information, that cone gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And one of the big things about the cone of uncertainty is it gives us the opportunity to see which projects are not working well, and so we can kill them. Some projects should be killed, and using models and estimates is one of the big ways we can see how things are really going and what should we continue with. You know, if software was just about building every program we were asked, this wouldn't be so bad. But since there's decision making, there's all the things I've mentioned, time to market and other things, it is extremely important to know when things will be done. Now, I have my wife went off skiing somewhere and left me home, and they're redoing our floors upstairs. And they said, oh, it'd be done by last Saturday. Well, now they're saying hopefully this Saturday. I wish I would have known last Saturday when I'm camping downstairs right now, but having that information would have been very helpful. And the backlog in Agile. And by the way, I love a lot of things about Agile. The backlog, user stories, or however you're categorizing it. Here are the things we want to do, and here's the priority of them. It's a wonderful way to manage software. Also, to be able to figure out the minimum viable product is fantastic. Of course, we all know that the users continually want more and more things, and they don't always go to the backlog. And maybe they get pushed to the top. But it's a wonderful way to build things in the most viable fashion. But uncertainty is still there. And if you need to know, if you're planning, if you're promising, if you have critical things, if you need to know what's happening, uncertainty needs to be understood. And the other thing about estimates, the cost of software isn't just the preparing or building the software. It isn't just the Agile team going and doing their stuff. It includes everything. Software maintenance, it includes the IT infrastructure, all the things that it takes to run the software. Here we can see that typically the biggest risk is the development, but as far as cost, the development of software, Agile or otherwise, it's about 6 to 10% of the total ownership cost. The IT infrastructure is an IT services to support that software is often substantially more. And software maintenance is substantial as well. So it might seem like it's a good idea to build this software until you actually start doing the analysis and say, oh my gosh, it's going to cost us several times what we thought. So having that information, again, not for the programmers, but for the people that are making the decisions, the people with the money, the people that make the promises. Now, there's lots of ways to quantify the scope of software, and size continues to be a main driver. User stories are wonderful, and they can be converted into something called story points. Story points are not consistent from program to program. Still, it's a great thing to know how much stuff you've got, and you can use different approaches, velocity, and things to figure out how far along you are. That's great while you're working the software. It doesn't really help you much when you're up front. People say, well, I hope it'll be five sprints or whatever, without any clue. Things like function points, functional sizing of many kinds can still work. T-shirt sizing, is it big or small or in the middle? Use cases, there's all kinds of different ways to describe the size. And some people say, well, we don't need the size anymore. Once again, to define the scope or the probable scope of the minimum viable product and the enhancements, you need something besides just, oh, the developers think it's going to take 12 weeks or whatever. And size does that. Now, for some programs, simple programs, just go to Agile. Works great. Start up and do it and do the normal things. This is a Scrum example, of course. But in many programs, when you've got significant risk or significant uncertainty or embedded systems, hardware, software working together, what some people call Scrum fall still makes sense. Figure out the overall requirements, figure out the design, make sure you understand what the system is, and then go through and do Agile development. Again, Agile is a really wonderful software project management method. It is not a make program decisions, make management decisions method. We at Galorath built an Agile planner trying to figure out how to help people to make these decisions, because again, we love Agile. What's the minimum viable product versus what's the probable product? What is it that the users are going to ask for as long as they've got this open checkbook and keep on doing it? How do you know when the minimum viable project is viable? I mean, that's not really our developers, right? That's the users that can tell us, the program owner, product owner, who can tell us if it's really viable. And the definition of viable always changes. From the initial, oh, gee, we just need this and this and this, to the, oh my gosh, we got to do this or we can't do that. So the Agile Planner takes in information that you know and generates cost, schedule, risk, and reliability. It identifies the size, either the size a sprint should be or the size you can put in your size, and actually generates estimates, cost, schedule, again, risk. I keep saying risk because risk is so important. Now, earned value management. We work with both commercial systems and we work with federal systems. The federal people have used earned value, that is measuring progress for forever. And some people say, well, you can't measure progress with an Agile system because you don't know when you're done. Well, that's kind of a key problem, isn't it? If you don't know when you'll probably be done, of course there's risks. How do you know that you're doing the right things? How did you know when you can deliver the system? Now, some managers say, well, this is great. It's Agile now. I don't need to do anything. Okay, you have developers who say it's 5 sprints, 10 sprints, great. Go do your thing, come back, and now I'm not getting lied to. And it's true, perhaps, that they're not getting promises that haven't been met, but they still are in many ways. Hey, this will be 5 sprints when it turns out it's, well, get a minimum viable product. So just being Agile hasn't solved the problems of the management problems at all. Again, it's a wonderful approach. Agile, doing the most important things right now are great. But what about systems with timing and sizing constraints? What about embedded systems where you've got to work along with the hardware and you just start building it Agile, and if you're not considering timing? Or what if your avionics software?
Hi there, I hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also getting complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.